Hello and welcome to Hobz and Friendz, a new series we're going to start here today. This is going to be the viewer choice series, if you will. I've been putting polls up for the last few weeks, letting people select the tank, the healer, and the crowd control. And then I took some input on the DPS. And so this is what we've ended up with here. If you can guess the classes, it'd be interesting to see. But I didn't go too far out of the ordinary here. So let's go ahead and pull this over here. All right, it's maximized. So Hobz and Friendz, viewer's choice. The purpose to level classes based on the feedback from viewers, and then level those characters all the way to 125 in a 6-man crew. And this is to avoid the mercenary carry, if you will. So it's going to be a little harder than it looks here. So this is the composition we ended up with. So we got Hobz the Shadow Knight. He's an ogre. Viva the Bard, Wood Elf. So she was going to provide ADPS support and possibly crowd control. I'm going to go with this a different way than I go in a lot of these things. So this is going to be interesting. Stasi is a Beast Lord. So you'll notice I'm using some of my other characters because I'm using personas. And I want to kind of I got, characters are already maxed out, right? But they do have some quests they need to do. So kind of the concept here. So Stasi is going to be a Beast Lord. And she provides ADPS support and, more importantly, more DPS. And in the form of support, she provides Paragon. Paragon is a AoE effect, mana regen, stat regen, kind of like the Unified Phoenix Feather, except reusable quite a bit. And the Beast Lord provides that to the group, and that kind of fixes one of the shortcomings I've had in the, playing a mage, which I did pick 2 mages as the DPS, and they always run out of mana. And hopefully the Beast Lord can resolve that and make it go a lot smoother, but we'll see how that goes. Then for healer, we have a Shaman. I went ahead and rolled a new Shaman. So the Shaman, the Bard, and the Shadow Knight are brand new characters. The Bard is it's a 67 enchanter from the Boomerguard series. I just switched her over to save me from having to move bags around, but she has no quest complete, so that's kind of the concept there. So the Shaman, that, and the Shadow Knight, they're going to be doing all the quests. Whereas Stasi, Nomergard, and Tawani, they've already done most of the quests in the game, so they're just going to be around for moral support and DPS. But Nomergard is personified into a mage. I went ahead and went Gnome again, and he's going to provide DPS and utility. Utility being Group Call Hero. My favorite spell. If you watch the Holdridge Crusade series, you'll know. I cast it every 10 seconds, pretty much. And the same with Tawani. I made her a mage also. Double mage. Now, a lot of the suggestions were triple mage, mage, wizard, monk. I can't do melee. I'm not good at melee with 6 characters, right? I can do 1 melee, but with 6 characters, it's a no-go. The other suggestions was a ranger. I plan on doing a ranger series. I'm doing a rogue series at the moment, and I'm also doing a Beast Lord series, but I did not want to. He's on a completely different server, so this is different. I haven't decided if I'm going to move him over to Verant yet. But this seems to be what will be, based on the comments, it's close to whatever, a lot of people suggest, a lot of mage suggestions, and mage is the easiest class to box. Some say wizard is, but a wizard does not have a pet that does more DPS than a lot of things. the way I'm going to be playing this is going to be it's going to be a little different than how I normally do it. So there we go. That is the setup. That is the stuff. Role matrix. Obviously, the tank is the Shadow Knight. The healer is the Shaman. The snare is the Shadow Knight. Crowd control is the Bard, and then also the Shadow Knight, if you think about it, because the Shadow Knight has Feign Death and Snare. And so I should be able to solo split things in the case that I need to. But I'm going to lean in to how Shadow Knight tanks. A Shadow Knight is a leech AoE tank. A lot of their stuff is AoE based and leech based. The Epic 2.0 for the Shadow Knight provides leech, lifesteal, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But through that kind of sustain and the AoE tanking, we are going to kind of focus it in that regard. We're gonna try it anyway with AoE stuff and avoid any kind of messing. Just kill stuff. I think that's the way I'm going to do it, but we'll see how it ends up. Movement speed, Spirit of Wolf. Both the Shaman and the Beast Lord provide Spirit of Wolf, and the Bard does provide solos, so that's going to make us move really fast. We have no evac, we have no ports. I'll show in game here in a second. I did purchase the North Row translocator token stuff so they can get to the tower, and that's going to where we're going to go with this next. The Shaman has a res, but it's a terrible res. It can only be done in out of combat. Res tokens is the other option. I'm probably going to put a mercenary healer on every single character so I can just disband somebody and get a res. That's probably going to be the easiest way to do that. And then our DPS is provided by Mage Beast Lord, which means we need three pet focus items every let's say 5 levels. So the farming of where we go as we're leveling up at a certain point is going to reflect that we are farming 3 of those. So there will be grinding for those things so we can. But the rules of this series, no power leveling. I can buy from the bazaar. This is I play on, it's on Verant Vi, and every other series I've made I've always disabled, using the bazaar. This one we're gonna whatever happens. I think is just gonna make it a little bit more fun. Auto grant is enabled. Full pay to bag wins. Full pay to win bags. I think every single character is got 40 slots. It's crazy. I've been moving characters from other TLPs that I've played on to get them all their bags back and stuff like that. So most of the characters are fully bagged, but the ones that aren't will eventually get bagged. External buffs are allowed, and I will be providing buffs. I am on Verant Vi. There is a very active play style here with a lot of people in the guild lobby doing buffs, but I am going to ensure that I can buff myself if I die. And with that, I will also be buffing everybody else. It'll all take place in guild lobby. I'm going to have them all bound in guild lobby, so when they die, they can just summon their corpses and res there and get it all taken care of before I go back out, and then just buff everybody. So that's on live. That is the most practical way to level and get things done. It helps a lot. Around 115 to 120, the buffs don't even really matter anymore. The content gets so hard. It's really acceleration, if you will. And then I will be accepting any viewer suggestions for things to change, zones to go to, anything like that. Whenever we get those, and then if there is a critical situation where it's like I do this or do that, I'll put it up to a vote on the YouTube community, and y'all can vote. But it's a gold account. Auto grant is enabled. It's on Verant Vi, and everybody has Lauren's song. stuff. So goals. So in the Holdridge's Crusade series, I had set some goals, and I wanted to kill, I think it was the Avatar War before hitting 70 or something like that. So I kind of expanded that out a little bit. I want to try Vox and Nagy. I'm like totally losing my mind. At 50. If we can't do it at 50, I'll try to get it at 55. We should be able to do it at 55, but if not, 60. And then at 65, we're going to go do all the dragons in Kunark, Kale, and TOV. That's the goal. We're going to try them all. If we can't get them all, we're going to try them again at 70. That'll be like a whole video of just doing raids. I won't drag that out over a while. 75, we're going to try the Gates of Discord and Omens of War raids. We'll try what we can in there, mostly to get the what is it, glob of discordant energy or whatever, the thing used for the 2.0 epic. If we're able to get that at 75, we will we'll pivot and we'll get the Shadow Knight 2.0 at that point. That means we'll have to do the 1.0. I already have a video on the 1.0s for the Shaman, the Shadow Knight, the Bard, the Mage. Believe it or not, there is a Mage one. And then the Beast Lord is the only one I don't have a video on. So there will be a video, either this Beast Lord or my Beast Lord that is on Drenell. Just depends on the timing. But if we get the orb of discordant energy or whatever it's called, we are gonna then bum rush the Shadow Knight and probably the Bard and Shaman 2.0s as fast as possible. Those are game changer for this group. The Shadow Knight 2.0 provides more leech, and the Shaman, I believe, doubles your damage or increases it by 25%. And then the Bard one does some other good stuff too. It helps. Now, a lot of the Bard is mostly melee focused. That's why we have a Beast Lord, Shadow Knight, and then 2 mages which have pets, which then provide even more melee DPS. So it should work out really well. The mages are going to lose out on a little, like, say if we had an enchanter, some bonuses there, but I don't think much. But it should be fine. And then we're going to go ahead and then complete all the different expansions. I'm going to actually try to do TBL in Era, if you will. So what does that mean? So, we're going to do, whatever Ring of Scale stuff we need to do, and then whatever Empires of Kunark, then Ring of Scale, and then TBL. That's all 105. We'll see where we end up, right? Like, I want to not go too fast, so we, get through, we're like 125 when we get to Lorien Song, right? We're not going to complete everything. And some of these characters, they're not even going to get the experience from TOV and Terror of Luckland. So they're going to be behind. So we're going to have to do some grinding here and there, just to see how that goes. And then also, since it is 2024, the anniversary event is going on for the Year of the Darkpaw, and there is a tower in North Row you can go to and get, do missions and do loot. We're going to do all that. We're going to try to get all 6 of these characters, the shiny silver bear, before December. That is one of my goals. I don't have it written here, but that is one of the goals. Here, let's put it in there right now. Tower bear. All right, so we're going to get the tower bear. That's the goal. That's 300 let's just call it 400 tokens, I think. At the same time, at 55, 105, and 120, 125, maybe every 5 levels, there is tower gear that will replace all of our gear except for the visual gear and the weapon, from what I can tell. So I'm recording this video in June. The next item to come out is the earrings. So this will be interesting. Totally It's totally going to negate any kind of gear finding we do in world, but I think it'll make it a little bit more interesting that we don't have to worry about gear. Depending on how it's scaled, like on Teak, the level 55 gear is scaled to like planes of power. And the 125 gear is scaled to like what seems to be better than group gear, and maybe push it even further into like last year's raid gear. I don't know exactly. I haven't compared it too much, but it's better gear than what you can get in a group. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to get the Tower Bear, and we're going to have fun. I got everybody their clicky so they can teleport there, and it's going to be great. All right, so my leveling path. This is my current leveling path. I am going to change this if I get suggestions. Currently, Hardcore Heritage is going on. Hardcore Heritage Phase 1 ends tonight at 1 a.m. And then tomorrow, it'll be different zones, and we can continue. As you can see here, I plan on doing Upper Guk at level 1. And then that'll go till 25-ish, depending on how good the experience is. And then we're going to go into Lower Guk till 40. And then at 40, we're going to go to Howling Stone. In Howling Stone, we need to get a bracer from one of the Golem creatures. This is for the Shadow Knight 2.0 Epic. Just so that we have that ready when we go. So we're going to spend 40 to 55-ish. There, it might not be that high. It might be 50. Once we get the bracer, if we get it, we're gonna leave immediately and go to Charduk until 65 is my current plan. These are my favorite zones, so we're kind of hitting all those. And then at 65 plus, we're gonna try Torden Bastion of Thunder. Maybe go hit up Paw. Just look around and see what options we have. And then 70 through, let's say 80. 70 through 80. We're going to be doing the Heroes and Paragon achievements so that we can get the Heroes armor and the Paragon armor for the tank mostly. That is going to be the focus of that. Some of the characters, like Nomergard, already has the Paragon armor, so he can put that on as soon as he gets there. I don't think many of the other ones do. Like Tawani has the melee the leather version, so she can not use that. So I can't redo it. So it's a little bit of a pain. But then from 80 plus, we're gonna go to House of Thule and proceed through the expansions in order, doing whatever we can to get through those. And House of Thule, you can start it at as low as 80. And the level expansion capped out at I think 90 in that one. I believe maybe it was 95. I think it was 90 because Veil of Alaris went up to 95. So I think that's the path. If there's any suggestions, is there a zone you want to see this group go to? Put it down. I'll put it on the list. I'm planning to do this as a weekly series, like I do some other stuff, but obviously this first episode plus the first actual Upper Guk video will be on the same day. And then depending on how it goes, right? If I'm in Upper Guk and I'm 2 hours in, I'm gonna have to cut it there and go to the next video. And if it's like 2 days of Upper Guk, 3 days of Upper Guk, you make 3-4 videos out of that, it's going to be all in the same week, right? So I'm not going to try to stretch it out that much. I want to have a new zone every week is the goal, but we'll see how that ends up as we go through here. And then I know I get a lot of requests for my Google Docs to be published. I'm working on building a website. Hopefully one day I will have it done that will turn all this into a web page, and then people can just look at it there. So, kind of like how Almar guides are, like something like that. I could put a lot more detail into these and then just link the videos and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff here that I've taken notes over the years. Yeah, those are all the stats. So yeah, here's the gear progression I plan to follow for the most part. Defiant till 80, heroes at 60, not 69. I think I think there is an overlap. I think it's 69 you can wear the hero's armor. I could be wrong though. Paragon armor is at 80. Wrapped steel, we probably won't even be able to get a piece of that. It's so I've gotten like one piece of the wrapped steel and the necrotic steel. I've only gotten like one piece every time I go through, so it's kind of rare. But at 85, we will have full House of Thule tier 1. I believe I have all the tokens, or not tokens. What are they called? Items. I have so much junk. I have 19 accounts full of junk, is really what it boils down to. We'll try, I don't know how far we'll progress the armor and whatnot through, but we'll try to get the best armor that we can. I'm not going to go crazy buying like crap off the bazaar. It's, you know, it is what it is. I do have a full set of Crypt Hunter armor for Shadow Knight, so I did have that from my first Shadow Knight I did, so I will be using that, which will hit probably at 75, honestly, in the Shadow Knight. I'll probably put that on for his gear because it just blows away everything else significantly up until this point. And then when we get into Empires of Kunark, we'll, you know, have to follow the progression through this. We can also get Conflagrant at 106, which I believe I already have sets of that set up. And then at 110, we can wear Snow Squall, which is COV tier 1. I don't have very many pieces of that. I have tons of Snowbound, but we'll see how that goes. Then I got a bunch of Waxing, and I don't have the other 2 expansions on here. But at 120, we'll be wearing Lorien Song gear. I do have a bunch of Galliant armor I've been buying to kind of have that ready to go. But see, platinum farming, not going to worry about money in this series at all. These characters, they pre-existed, right? A lot of them pre-exist. I'm not taking money off them to, you know, simulate being, you know, having no money, right? Like if you want to farm money, Soul A, Soul B is good if you're lower level. Hill Giants are good. The Hole can be good. Clearing hate, clearing fear. You can generate a lot of platinum doing that. You just, you know, spin up your AOC instance and clear it all. And then sell the loot. If this is for an Avai, you can sell the raid loot too. You might generate some money out of that. South Row. I don't remember what that... Oh yeah, South Row. The Sand Giants in South Row. They're kind of like the Hill Giants here. But not as many. Gyrospire, Zika, and Beta. Those are, you just kill everything in the zone. You might make some money. A lot of trade skill materials and stuff like that. Gug and Sibyllus, if those are within your levels, and, you know, like say you're 65, you can clear Sibyllus without much effort, even solo. A lot of these are all like solo methods. Like you just want to be, 5 to 10 levels higher than the content, right? And you can go kill it all real easy. Guk at like 50 or 60, you can just clear that without even trying. So, let's see here, gear. Oh wait, that was weapons. All right, that's an incomplete chart from another series I started. Yeah, here's all the armor and the how the armor progresses, right? If we look at hero's armor, it's 439 hit points, and Paragon is 964. And then right here at House of Thule Tier 1, it's 1,000. So that's kind of like the goal is to get as much HE or HME, I guess is the acronym there, as much health, mana, and endurance as you can get per slot. And yeah, I went all the way up to Night of Shadows here. And I only have that on there because the way these work is you can wear, like, so Terror of Luckland is when you can get to 120. But Night of Shadows is like the next expansion, and you can still get that first tier at 120. So if you're like, you just hit if you just hit like, 120, right, you can skip the Terror of Luckland tier 3 stuff and go straight to the Knight of Shadow stuff. So you gotta be really, selective about some of this stuff, because it's like these armors are like 20,000 platinum per piece from for the vendor parts, and then no telling how much you're gonna have to pay for the containers. So keep that in mind. All right, so that is a long intro video, but that's what it is gonna be. Mage, Beast Lord, Shadow Knight, Shaman, Bard. Yeah. But here they are in their glory. I turned off ogre models because I just couldn't stand the ogre model. I do plan on being like probably skeleton most of the time. I don't know, 100% on that, but I do like the skeleton look. And eventually, the Shadow Knight does get spells to turn them into a skeleton for their mana stuff. But all the characters have money. He has bags. They all have bags. They all have all their spells up to level 20, and they're ready to go. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.